What's going on, everybody? I'm Ace Hawk, or otherwise known as Kiv Kiv, and today we're playing some gun game. So let's roll that intro, baby. So I'm not exactly playing gun game right now. I'm actually talking over the recording of it because this gameplay was from quite a while ago. In fact, it's actually from just about before everything happened. So yes, I did kind of come through on my promise of playing some gun game and doing things like that to Dead Man Flies. In that Q&A, how he asked me to do some Advanced Warfare gun game and stuff like that. But I know it's really late, but I figured, I did the gameplays for it, but I didn't have a time to do commentaries, and I couldn't figure out how to do live commentaries because, I had quite a problem with that. I used to do a decent amount of live comms, but with the computer issues and stuff like that, I've gotten a different computer now, and now I'm having some issues with the mic and stuff for doing live commentaries. So either I sound as if I'm being played through a 2-inch speaker or something like that. It sounds really bad for the live commentary, so I'm not too sure if I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do that, so I figured I would just get the gameplay and then do a commentary over it as I do it, because I enjoy gun game a lot. It's a very fun game type for me to play, because I like the idea of switching from gun to gun, because it gets rid of the whole overpowered gun thing. You can only use that for one kill, and then you got to switch out to a different one. It's against your choice, okay? So that's why it's good for me, because that way I get to use a range of guns that I both like and hate, and then my opponents aren't exactly all running around with ASM-1s or BALs, which is very useful when you're playing Advanced Warfare, because those get very annoying to verse in public matches. I actually felt really good when I started playing these gun games, because in my first 3 games, I won all of them. Like, this was my first time playing gun game on Advanced Warfare. I had no idea what the score limit was, exactly, how you're supposed to deny people of guns and, push them back one. I don't really think you can do that. If you can, then please let me know in the comment section down below. I would appreciate that. And except for that, I don't really think I actually knew that much about gun game, because I didn't know what guns were involved. I didn't know which ones were starting off with, and that's pretty useful, because if you know when a troublesome gun is happening or going to occur, then you can kind of back away from the fight or get out of the middle of the map. That way you can stick to the side routes and then try and get a kill with that troublesome gun on on the side or something like that. You might have to wait a second, try and draw in an enemy from the middle of the map or something like that. Either way, it's a lot easier to play gun game when you know what's coming and what's going on. But I just kind of went off. I don't want to try and brag, but I kind of went off when it came to gun game on this map on Solar. I think this was my 3rd game of gun game, the last one that I actually won. And I was just thinking at the end of the game, I was like, man, I'm doing pretty good at this game. Three games of gun game played, 3 wins. Yeah. I'm coming out on top, so I might as well be a gun game master. And then from that point onwards, I just got wrecked every game. But especially because I hate it, because I find the crossbow at the very end to be very troublesome. In the first game and the second game of gun game I played, it was so difficult for me because I don't use a crossbow much, and I hate doing it in Black Ops 2 and stuff like that, because it's just so troublesome, because it's the one gun we actually have to allow for people to be moving and stuff, and that puts it back into like a battlefield sort of thing, where you've got to aim ahead of them or behind them, depending on which way they're moving and stuff like that. So that's even more difficult in Advanced Warfare, with everyone jumping around and things like that. So I found it pretty difficult, but in this game, I actually got it really easily, because there was just some kid camping in the corner when I was there, so it was all good. It was nice and easy. So I got a pretty decent win. I was really surprised to find that some of the guns weren't actually in this one. Like, the recognizable ones like the BAL weren't in gun game. I mean, they've got the ASM-1 in there, so I would have figured that they had some overpowered guns in there, and I wouldn't have minded if the BAL was in there. But I mean, some of them were missing. I think they could have added a couple more guns in to make it to like 30 or something, but it's perfectly fine. I just miss how there isn't a knifing, like a ballistic knives towards the end, but the crossbow doesn't do too bad either. I think they could have made it incredibly difficult and had the riot shield as well, but I think that would have been a bit too much, because I mean, you have to bash them twice with it, and yeah, it's a bit too much of an ask, I'd say. Just to give you guys a couple of tips about gun game, I would say definitely try and pick up as many guns as you can in a public match before you go into gun game if you haven't played it before. It's very fun, but the idea is that you have to switch between guns every time you get a kill, as you can see from the gameplay. So that's why picking up a lot of guns and getting into the habit of using different ones on the fly is very good. and I find it to be very enjoyable to play this game. But I mean, sometimes you might get stuck on a gun, and that's perfectly fine, but just try and stick to the outskirts of the map when that happens, so that way you can try and pick off someone from behind if that occurs, and just know a lot about your guns, so that way you have a lot of general knowledge on how they work. For example, this dual-wield LMG thingamabob that you're able to lock down or run around with, and if you run around with them, it's very inaccurate, but if you lock it down, then you can get some long-range kills like that one over there. Very nice, very nice, being able to use the different guns in different ways, and just being able to adapt your playstyle. I feel as if that's one of the best ways to help yourself out in this game type. Definitely another good thing that you should try and consider is, as soon as you get a kill, jump around a lot. I'm not sure if I said that already, but it's definitely a very big thing that you can do, because that way you're dodging everyone else's bullets, and you have a chance to get the gun that you're switching to ready and stuff. So that can help you out a lot. Moving on though, the sniper rifles, I feel as if they're kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes you can get through them quite easily, sometimes it can take a bit of time, because I feel as if that Atlas is not particularly my best one, but I usually get through it quite decently well, because I'm not particularly the best at it. RW1 though, bit of a problem, because you've only got one shot. It has some decent range, but that reload time and the fact that the iron sights aren't particularly great, if they're really up close in your face sort of thing, then that can be a bit troublesome. But sometimes you can get it out of the way done real quick. I'm not even sure what happened at that moment, because I got a collateral, so I think I might have skipped a gun. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not really too sure what happened there. I think I might have actually ended up skipping the Atlas, but I'm pretty sure I ended up using it towards the end. Just after this one, I believe, actually. But the pistols are definitely something you've got to keep in mind, because you've got to try and keep up this idea of getting really up close to them, so that way there isn't a massive damage drop-off, but you've also got to be really accurate with it as well, and don't get carried away ignore enemies that are around them, because always have a decent idea of what's going on. See, with that rocket launcher one, I just ended up getting him straight away, because I lured him towards me, and then I fired on an area that I thought he would be close to, so then bang, bada bing, bada boom, there goes the rocket launcher that some people might have problems with. The crossbow, this time I had a bit of problem with, but like I said before, I just ended up getting a kid in the corner, so it ended up being pretty decent, and that just brought an end to the game. So yeah, I'm pretty decent at gun game when I want to be, and sometimes I get absolutely wrecked, but that's how it is. So I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Make sure that you leave a like, comment, favorite, and or subscription. It's much appreciated. I've been a Sorker, otherwise known as Kiv Kiv, and I'm out.